Okay, now let's continue with our second mood. Okay, so we're going to take as a starting point the previous base that we already created in the previous mood. So let me show you what we got here. So pretty much I'm going to keep using the neutral overcast mood. Okay, so this is what I'm using right now. Okay, so now what we're going to do once again is going to be based in a um, mood matching technique that we already checked in the previous video. Okay, so first of all, I would like to work with our light. So as you can see, it's kind of night, so probably I will need to reduce a little bit more exposure. Okay. Second, I'm going to work in my I'm going to work in my background. Okay, remember I already put this in the override section in the Corona render setup. Yep, it's here. Okay, so pretty much that is only going to affect the background. That is not going to affect the lighting. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I can do the same. I can use the tint option, sample a little bit of the color of the background. Make it a slightly, yeah, there you go. A little bit more desaturate maybe. Yeah, we're going to customize these by hand. Sometimes the sampling could be kind of accurate, sometimes not. Yep, there you go. Probably slightly more warmer, I guess. And saturate. Not too much. Right now it's looking good, so probably I will need to introduce a slightly amount of exposure in order to get the same result. Yep, more or less. Okay, so now I'm going to use a little bit of anything here. Great. Okay, now for the lining also, it's slightly purple, so what I'm going to do is select my first HDRI and probably increase a little bit the green magenta tint. Yeah, I'm getting slightly purple at the reference, and right now I'm just going to customize the body material. For the body material, it's very interesting that it's slightly purple. Okay, so we already know that we control the color of that based in the color scattering here. Again, I'm going to just sample this color from here. And of course, we need to enable here the global body material slot and do a drag and drop, creating an instance. Okay. Great, so probably I need a little bit more of body material. Right now it starts to look, yeah, kind of similar. So let's reduce a little bit more the saturation and increase the volume just in order to see a little bit more fog. Because remember, the the darker is the color in the fog, basically that is also going to affect the density of the fog. That is going to reduce the density of the fog. The darker it is the color, the less fog we're going to see. If we want to see a little bit more fog, probably we need to use something like this. Yeah, so now let's check our volumetric pass. Yeah, probably decrease a little bit more. 3000. Yeah, I'm going to spread a little bit more by putting in 0 the directionality. Oh, probably slightly higher. Yeah, we can also change to other face option. And I got like the purple. Okay, so now I need to correct the sliding by increasing the temperature. Here the background. Oh, probably too much. Or is good. Yeah, it's good. Probably sliding more. And a little bit of green as well. Oh, sorry, it's in the opposite way, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, let's decrease a little bit the density in the fog. Probably is just too much. Let's try like 5,000 maybe. Okay, 4,000. Okay, and now let's go to the second HDRI. I would like to add a little bit of the green. Here also, we can change slightly the color tint in order to match the color from the background. Okay, now let's reduce exposure just a little bit. That is going to make us slightly darker. Not too much. 0.25, 0.35. Yeah, there you go. So far, really close. With a little bit of the green magenta tint on the buffer also. Yeah, we can be a little bit more accurate now if we compare. It's just a matter of increasing slightly more the vignetting. Okay, so now let's introduce a little bit more of purple by using the curves. So right now it's going to be by, I'm going to take the lower part of the green curve and I'm going to pull it down. Okay, that is going to introduce that slightly more purple. Can you see right now? The color of the sky is pretty similar. I'm going to just increase the temperature just a little bit more maybe. The second HDRI. I think right now it's working good. Yeah, even the purple color in the vignetting is, it's very similar. Okay, that looks like a good base. Now let's work in the lighting. Okay, so once again I'm going to use the Corona laser. Okay, I'm going to enable the lights. Okay, now I'm going to show you what do I do here. Okay, first of all, I would like to turn out these lights here. That pretty much is a completely different lighting concept in comparison to the previous one that I create. So it's going to be a little bit more minimalistic. Yeah, also this one. And this one. Okay, so now let me explain how to customize the lights here. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create like a gradient. Okay, so let's select an empty slot and let's select here a gradient map. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to sample this color that I can see, this beautiful color gradient that I can see here. Okay, so we're going to try to sample in the best possible way, like brighter here, the less brighter area, probably a little bit more like green. And this one, of course, is going to be the green area, this one. Okay. Now I'm going to introduce this grading map in the light emitter. Okay. Let's select the light emitter. I already have a grading map there, but I'm going to erase. Now I'm going to drag and drop this one. Yeah. There you go. That is going to create a very nice color gradient. But once again, this is just the base. What we need to do, of course, it is customized by hand and compare every single time with the reference, right? So most of the time, by swapping the colors, we can reach the conclusion. For example, I'm going to swap this one and see. Probably it's going to be a slightly more greenish. Yeah, there you go. That looks very similar to this one. I think at least is a good base. Yeah, there you go. And now I can just copy this color gradient. And by the way, we can customize also the gradient type. The gradient type could be linear, could be radial. That pretty much is going to affect in the way that we're going to see the color, of course. Yep. Oh, there is a green that it looks very saturated, so I'm going to try to do it by hand. Yeah, the idea behind sampling the colors, of course, is going to be try to be close to the thing that I can see in the reference, but most of the time it's not going to work in a very accurate way. So we need to customize this by hand until we reach like a very similar color result. So right now I'm just trying to match the green color from here. So what I can see has a slightly like more bluish color, looks kind of saturated as well. Okay, so also we can use a region, I think, going to be faster. Yeah, I think pretty much looks similar. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is compare for the first time. And actually there is a line here that I would like to turn on this one. It's pretty much with the same reference that second place, I think. Here we have like two lines. I did a copy, sorry. Yeah, this one. I'm going to turn on this one. Yep, there you go. That is pretty much sorry. Trying to emulate the light that I have here, the same kind of light that I have here. Okay. There you go, there's the purple. Probably I have to work a little bit more on the greens. Well, this color must be a little bit more to the yellows, I think. Also, I would like to probably repeat the sampling. Right now it's not completely accurate. Yeah, I got that yellowish part. And now I need this one looks a little more bluish. Yep, that is going to help us. And the brighter area, I think, must be like this, but desaturated, of course. Almost white, I can see. Yeah, also I can see some red on the shadows. Mostly I think we can create that by using a curve. Let's try we can select the green. Of course, let's increase a little bit. Contrast. Just trying to match the same contrast. Yeah, working good. Probably a little bit more powerful lighting source here is going to help us. So what I'm going to do is just increase the intensity in the field lights. Let's try too much. 1500. Because as we can see here in the reference, the affectation of the light is pretty much intense in that area. One moment please. View image file. I'm going to select the same reference, sorry. Yeah. So I need to increase the green there. So I'm going to put this on the side. Okay. Great. It's a little bit more this one. Like a dark green I can see. Just too much. It's saturated. But also we can try only with two colors. Yeah, right now I'm working with two colors. I think that is going to be the base. So we can put it in linear as well. So far I'm working only with two colors. So I'm going to just try to keep this a little bit more green. And I think now it's working better. Yep. Definitely now I'm just going to add a slightly more saturation in this one. A little bit more. Yeah, we need to be very careful at the moment that we are mixing the colors. Sometimes it's not so simple get the result, but with a little bit of practice, of course, it's going to be slightly easier. Yeah, I think right now we're kind of close to the result. Yeah, looking good. Looking good. So this one color is slightly more warm. I think we got it. Yeah, I think we got it. Yeah, great. So I'm going to pretty much use the same gradient in all the other lights. Okay, so just drag and drop, replace the previous one. Also this one. I have also this light here. And there you go. Right now we're getting a very similar result. Yep, there you go. So what I need to do is just slightly add a little bit of green to the background, because the background, as you can see here, has this kind of green color. So what we can do also is put a lighting source at the back of the buildings, like I'm doing right now. Okay, and this one I'm going to just do it as slightly green. Let's see how I can mix this. I think right now it's good. And now let's increase a little bit. Too much. Let's be very, very, very soft of that green color at the back. Maybe 700. Yeah, now we can see that slight amount of green that we can see here in the reference as well. Okay, so now let's use curves. This one probably would like to reduce a little bit the temperature, and there you go. Now the green is very similar. I have this green color at the back. The purple also looks. And so I'm going to reduce a little bit exposure in this one. Probably I'm going to make it slightly dark, like 0.2 or something like that in the second HDRI, in order to make it slightly dark. 0.1. Yeah, there you go. Good. Good, good, good. Yeah, there you go. The greens are very similar. Yeah, slightly warmer, I think. Also could be a good idea, like sample this color from here just in order to have like a base and customize once again by hand until we can see like a very similar result. Quite a bit of green. A little bit more of intensity probably, let's see. But also slightly green. Happen if I increase a lot this value. Yeah, there you go. I think definitely we got it. Way too much, 0.5 I guess. Yep, there you go. I think that was going to be really close. Okay, so it doesn't matter if we cannot 100% match exactly like the color. Remember that also we can use a post-production technique in order to match better the color, but in general terms I think we're doing good. So I'm going to use right now the curves. It's in the red, especially add a little bit on the highlights. Yeah, right now I'm trying to match with that. And the greens, I know that probably that can, yeah, you see? Now it's very similar. And there you go. There you go. I think right now it's working good. I'm going to just decrease slightly the general exposure in order to match better the sky. Yeah, make it slightly colder also. going to add a little bit of blue to the highlights. So let's go to the blue and let's affect these highlights just a little bit. Yep, there you go. And there you go. Finally, we got it. We got it. Yeah, so this is how this mood was done. Yeah, probably here the interesting part was the introduction of the gradient color and the text map on the light that allows you to create a very beautiful effect in terms of the color approach. I think is more rich when you use 2, 3, different kind of colors. I think it's very interesting when we can do something like that. And I think we did it. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Okay, so I think that's it for this mode, and see you for the final mode.